Man, I love this song for this clip here.
That's crazy. Oh, man.
They took over, man.
Dude, the whole precinct.
Yo, she's bad. I thought he was going to live, though. I didn't think
he was going to get away. I thought one of them was going to get away. I thought the guy from Scary Movie was going to get away.
I love this creepy smile. Look at that.
Oh, my. They're all trying to smile. Oh,
they're all learning how to do it. Oh, they look like zombies. Oh, he looks creepy.
Oh, that's...
Yo, tell me they added a Joker smile.
That is terrifying. Guys, the butterflies have clearly taken over. Welcome back to Jersey Comic Crew. Chris and Rob here, and today we are delving into what the cow is. We know that this is the next stop for Peacemaker and the gang. We know the butterflies have the most numbers, it seems like, that they've had in forever. And now they have to go down and take this cow out at a ranch that seems to be underground. Rob, what the hell is the cow? Is it a cow? Is it not a cow?
It's a cow. It goes moo, and milk comes out. No. So I've been thinking about this a lot. What is the cow? And obviously it's a term. At first I was like, maybe it's a multiple of these bugs into like this giant being and secreting all this juice. To me, it kind of feels like maybe it's like a slug, right? I'm thinking if they come from like a butterfly world, maybe it's like a giant larva that they all feed on.
Oh, gross.
And like that's a part of like the alien species. I think it's an alien species, right?
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily a non-symbiotic one like this. So I think it's like a little bug that goes into some kind of organic mass and it produces all this milk or all this like fluid. So it might actually just be a cow, like a legitimate cow, just hooked up onto some giant machine. But like for some reason, Chris, in my mind, I'm picturing this huge giant like slug larva thing underground, and all those machines are just sucked up to all of its thousands of nipples and just like, the goose falling out of it.
Everyone's just smiling.
Everybody's just smiling and getting it. I mean, the only other thing I could think of would be like it's just a giant fat version of this insect that just got really fat and just sucked on like all the corpses of these like humans or like animals, and it's just like a big one and it's just secreting liquid. I have no idea, man.
So I'm going old school, guys. I am saying this is going to be right out of Aliens, one of the greatest sci-fi films of all time.
Oh,
I think it's going to be kind of like the Hive Mother, the one that kind of started this whole thing off. So you know, if you haven't seen Aliens, spoiler alert, it's been like 40 years.
Yeah,
but
it's fine.
At the end of Aliens, you know, they find out that it's this mother that's kind of hatching the eggs and like feeding them intravenously, and you know, then the face suckers, all that good stuff. I think the butterfly is going to have a similar effect. I think it's going to be this giant mother butterfly, not necessarily kaiju size like what we saw with Starro, but a big butterfly that is you know, naturally creating, almost like how bees work, right? There's the queen bee that always stays at the main state of the hive, and you know, helps with the food, helps with the worker bees, helps with all that stuff, directing traffic. I think we're going to see a similar situation here with this queen butterfly, who is also kind of, you know, creating the very raw substance of what becomes their food that they package and sell.
I do like the idea of it be, well, one, I think it's one thing, right? Because Mern's butterfly, right, whatever his real name is, referred to it as a cow, right? Not cows, not farm, a cow. And the fact that it's like a female giant queen, I think we're both kind of on the same wavelength. If it's not this weird goo-like monster thing that I'm thinking of. If it's a giant queen, it kind of makes sense, right? So like when you think of the insult like cow, right? You think of like this female like cow on the farm, like you're like sloppy and all this and that. So what if it's like it's the queen, but Mern is calling the queen a cow because he doesn't respect her. He defected from it and he's insulting it. And we're getting too focused on like cow being like this literal device that just makes milk, and it's not like this high royal being leading everything. So I can see that being like a little misguiding, a little red herring, thinking like it's not this big important figure when in actuality it's like the most important figure.
Possibly. I think it's more of a symbolism thing, right? The cow is a symbol for, you know, food, for, you know, reproduction, for you know, feeding a mass amount of things, right? Like a dairy cow is seen as something that lives a long time and can feed a lot of people, so it's also coveted as something very precious and also very important in the farming sense, right? And they're going to a ranch, they're going to a farm. The farm is literal. The cow, I think, is the symbol. It's a word that means a symbol. I'm still kind of going with this kind of queen hive mother figure
I'm with
that
you
is
there.
feeding her babies. Whether it's also helping to make more butterflies would be a question, I think, for this ranch.
Interesting.
If there's like new butterflies being made here on Earth, they're not just coming from outer space, which we kind of saw when Sonya like did her like screech call and they all came out of nowhere in their ships. The ones that weren't infected with people.
I do like that because when you think of the juxtaposition of a giant butterfly, like that's huge even compared to humans, compared to these super small things that burrow inside of us, I think that'd be a pleasant and cool thing to look at. We know that they said they buried underneath and deep underground, so it's gonna have plenty of room for this whole organic empire. And so far, the butterflies, we've been so focused on everything that's small spaceships, small this. They have a factory. So seeing the opposite in there would be really cool. The last thing I want to talk about, I know we're theorizing on what the cow is. Going back to the mer butterfly, right?
Yeah.
Are we going to find out more about his backstory in this next episode? We only have 2 episodes left, Chris. We don't have a lot of time. So we're going to find out who this butterfly was. Maybe he has some direct connection to the cow. Maybe the cow is his ex-wife. And he's like, fuck that cow. I'm doing my own thing. And that's why we're doing this. Like, maybe it's that. Maybe it's a lover's spat. You have no idea with this kind of show. It could be something totally off the wall.
It's true. Maybe he likes teal and the cow didn't. Who knows?
That could be it. Her favorite color is burgundy. And he's like, I'm a teal man. We're done here.
Doo-doo brown. Yeah. And now it's a whole thing and we have to get divorced. So one's red, one's blue. Who knows? It's a whole thing. But the object of Myrn and this kind of like knowledge that he has, one, I think is a great aspect of going forward because we don't know fully what he knows, right?
No,
he's given up some, but he's not given up anything, and he's only given up what he had to. Yeah. So this butterfly in Myrn has this history. We know a little bit of it. We had that great scene with him where he's like, I didn't have a choice. I took over the worst person I could find, right? Like, it was like I took over this monster of a human being, this murderer, and I live with that every day. I get these flashes of his memories. I think with this, it's going to be more of like, maybe he defected from this because he was against the cow and against the, natural kind of order that they wanted to take over the planet, and maybe this is how they're doing it.
I mean, they did mention that like they wanted to take over the planet. He's like, no, we didn't have to do that. But like you were saying, like there's obviously more there, right? Because like if he's like, I don't think we should do this and defected, that kind of doesn't seem like enough, right? If you're like, hey, we're taking over a whole planet, and you're like, nah, I don't believe that, I'm gonna leave. That's a lot, right? That's a lot for these people like you're not really into. And especially he has this mentality before going into Myrn, right? Because when he's in Myrn, like you were saying, like he has all these memories. He's realizing like even this guy could have been saved, right? Yeah. So like you're saying, there has to be some bigger reason why. And like you said, this guy's only releasing what he has to. We're not going to find out.
I think you're right. And I think the last like bit about Myrn is, as far as we know, Rob, like he's the only butterfly that isn't going along with this plan, right? Like so far, obviously he's the only butterfly they're talking to because, with Goff doing the ticks on the glass and then taking over Sonya immediately to plan whatever she's planning.
Yeah, man.
But Myrn's butterfly is the only one who isn't going along with this world domination plan. So the other question is, are there any other butterflies that are believing or behind Myrn's cause that we don't know about? Will we see that come to fruition with this cow situation when they infiltrate this ranch in the next episode? I think that's something we got to ask.
Maybe Goff is a secret agent and he's a spy and like a double agent, but then like, why did Myrn's want to kill him? I have no idea. Maybe he didn't realize it was him. There's so much that we got to find out, guys. We want to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. What do you think the cow is? Do you think it's this giant slug creature? Do you think it's a giant insect queen? Or maybe it's just an actual cow that they are hibernating in and making juices and goo? Let us know your theories down below.
And guys, thanks so much for watching. Give us a thumbs up, really helps the channel out a lot. If you're new, subscribe, turn those notifications. You don't miss any more of our Peacemaker videos. We got more for you. We have more questions. We have more theories. And of course, we're going to be talking about them here on the channel. If you missed anything, make sure to check it out right here. Thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, I'm Chris Heller. That's Rob Moran. We're the Jersey Comic Crew, and we'll see you next time.